I briefly touched on this in my school video, and this basically acts as like the free DLC for that video, so go watch that one first, then this one. In that video, I said, if I can achieve the exact same result more efficiently, why would I choose the more difficult option? Which pretty much sums up my entire person, but that especially holds true for cheating. Now for school, I actually didn't cheat that much. The way I operated was that I showed up, and 80% of the time I was able to memorize the material and do it well enough to pass, so I never studied. Which isn't a brag, by the way, either. I'm just saying that my mentality was to show up and put in however much effort was required and nothing more. And whatever grade my innate level of effort was worth was pretty much always enough to pass. Mostly because the school system is a fucking joke. But whenever that wasn't the case, or I was just feeling lazy that day, that's when I cheat on my homework. I never actively cheated on a test in a classroom setting. And if that thing I didn't understand showed up on the test later, well, tough shit, I made the decision to ignore it. I'm sure I'll understand the next unit better. I only started pretty much exclusively cheating near the end of my high school career, when everything was suddenly online and I had the liberty to do so, as well as finally being able to take a piss in class whenever I wanted to. Technically, the last 2 months of my junior year were also online, but we don't talk about that, okay? That's reserved for my therapist. And so, senior year, even when the world and your life isn't actively falling apart, the usual stereotype with seniors is that they don't care, you know, ooh, senioritis. But when you stack those two factors, along with effectively being in the victory lap of school, you just cannot care. And honestly, at that point, you really shouldn't. Do you know how good it feels to sit there after 3 straight years of dealing with all the stress and anxiety of navigating high school and being able to contentedly say, you know what, I actually don't need to do that assignment. That was literally the one good thing about my senior year. Any assignment I didn't cheat on, I didn't need to do, because even if I failed the class, I'd still be able to graduate. I literally had 2 extra classes that I didn't need because we couldn't take less than 5. Because like everything's online, so I don't have a reason to care because you're not giving me a reason to care. Make sure you go to class, or else what, you're gonna be fucking detention? You're gonna put me on house arrest? Which is why I despise the phrase winners never cheat and cheaters never win, because aside from it being corny as all fuck, it's literally just not true. Anyone who says that is actually just a Rubik's Cube piloting a human mech. The people who say that are the same people who say things like, it doesn't matter if it's a $5 item from a soulless corporation that makes $54 billion a year and throws away millions of dollars worth of perfectly good inventory every week nationwide just because it wasn't sold that day. Stealing is always wrong. I mean, they'd probably leave out the middle bit because they think everyone in the world is good without knowing how fucked up it really is, but you get my point. And they're also the kind of people that think everyone should always be forgiven no matter what they've done. You murdered my family just because you felt like it? You know what? I forgive you. I've noticed the people who say the whole winners never cheat thing or have views like that always make them very loudly apparent. And I have a feeling it's because deep down they also know that it's BS. But they want to justify and have someone acknowledge the amount of unnecessary stress and sleepless nights they've put themselves through just for the sake of academic integrity. Because resisting the urge to cheat is not something anyone ever knows you do unless you explicitly tell them. And in school, anyone who outwardly says, I could have cheated but I didn't, is nothing but an attention seeker. Oh wow, congratulations, you did the right thing, you want a fucking pizza party? Let's be honest here. In a situation where the options are to cheat and pass or don't and fail, you're an absolute fucking idiot if you choose the latter. Nobody's gonna throw you a parade because you honestly failed an assignment worth 70% of your grade and now you have to repeat the class. They're gonna call you a dumbass. You have to be some sort of psycho to walk out of that testing room and think, yeah, I got a 3%, but I was true to myself, so I'm the winner here. Not those people who cheated and got 100% and passed. Bro, you're paying $60,000 a year for that class. You literally just cost yourself tens of thousands of dollars in permanent life debt just because you don't want to write on an index card. Yeah, but I was honest and virtuous. Like, bro, the only thing academic integrity gets people is another 7 years of the 11th grade. There isn't a single person who hears cheaters never win and goes, ah, fuck man, you're right. I'm gonna go fail that math test and lose thousands of dollars of scholarship money and be forced to drop out with pride because I earned that grade. So yeah, cheating on a small academic level is absolutely fine. Obviously, if you're in a class for a profession, then don't cheat. I know it happens, but preferably, I'd still like to decrease the number of doctors in the world who cheated through school and have no idea what they're doing. But something like an elective you know you're not interested in, or a class you're gonna fail otherwise, yeah, who cares, do whatever you want. It isn't like the world really benefits from having a general populace that knows how to find the circumference of a circle.